Bambro back with some Grand Tactician Civil War CSA campaign in the 1.06. Right, so at the end of the last episode, we had this battle initiated at Springfield, Missouri. I think it's Springfield. Is this Springfield? It is. Sterling Price coming up in here to Missouri to engage the Army of the West, which I thought would be commanded by Nathaniel Lyon, but in fact is commanded now by Henry Halleck, apparently. Okay. And you know what we're doing here, kind of at the strategic level, we're starting to exert some control on the southwest Missouri Ozark area. But at the operational level, it's also about grabbing this supply depot that's got a bunch of juicy stuff in it. It's pretty well stocked. Lots of RD ammo, lots of provisions, lots of small arms ammo. So I'd much rather this be a Confederate supply depot than a Union one. And that's why we're pitching right into Halleck, because he's projected to get a lot more troops. So we're catching him while he's still low. Frankly, I thought he might retreat. He did not. So this is going to be the combat debut of our Missouri Army. And let's get into it. Yeah, we've got more than a 2-to-1. An argument could have been made. I could have auto-resolved this. We'll see the First Texas German Brigade in action. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, attacking situation. That's certainly fair. Where is the objective? It's way up here. And there's Halleck's entry point right here. This is the Wilson Creek map. And that is some pretty nasty looking terrain right up in there. And we're starting down here. All of which makes perfect sense. Okay, so what are we thinking here? I'm thinking we just march right up the road. At least as far as getting across Skeggs Branch here. Right. Well, you know, when you get down here to this level, this doesn't look so terrible through here. We don't have much artillery, but what there is, if we can get up kind of on this area, they may have some shots into here. We need to go up and see what the federal disposition is. That will, but this objective is kind of down in a little, it's not exactly a ravine, but it's in a little kind of a saddle down in here with high ground over here and back here. So the direct approach just right up the road may be the way to go, if in fact that's the way that the Federals are arrayed. But either way, we're just going to march up the road at least as far as here. While that is happening, we will send, because this army's got some cav, we'll send Fagan and Marmaduke up the road to go see what's what. Actually, I'll have him go this direction just so he's not in the way of the infantry. And then the infantry, I'm just going to set them here and they'll be marching. So I got a little bit of marching and scouting to do, and I'll be back when we see where the Federal position is. Okay, so we found the Federal position. Marmaduke's been up here kind of scouting around, and it's in a good spot. It's up on this high ground, forward of the objective. Okay, facing down toward in here. Well, I'm not gonna, even though we have a much larger force, I'm not gonna attack straight up this way. He only has 3 brigades, but I see no reason, so I mean, we could just plow right into the front of him and we'd win. But I don't want to take any more casualties than we have to, and it won't be long before this army is bigger. We've got to look ahead to future battles. So what I'm going to do is, he has no artillery, so I'm going to bring 1 division down here just to provide a little bit of security, and I'm going to park my artillery right down here. Now, it's not a fantastic well, we can probably put them back up here on this slope. That'll be close enough. We have 2 battalions. They're 24-pound howitzers, though. And I don't know how well this game models different trajectories and stuff, but howitzers should be pretty good against fortifications, and they've got a high art to fall down in here. So I'm going to put some artillery down here just to, put some artillery fire on them. And with a defending, I'll put one of the smaller divisions down here just to keep them, just for some security. And they should pretty much be able to bomb the Federals, bombard the Federals with some impunity, I would hope. Meanwhile, the other 2 divisions, I am going to bring them up this road, and we will, now it's woods, right? So it'll be a little bit slower going this way, and we'll have to stop and rest periodically, regain our cohesion and fatigue. But we're going to come in on the flank of the entrenched position this way, and just kind of roll them up like so, straight into the objective in this direction. That's my plan, which means we've got some more marching to do, so I will be back. Real quick other cut. I moved Marmaduke kind of around the edge over here. They can clearly see him, and he is I think he is the only Confederate unit visible to to Halleck, and they have reoriented to face Marmaduke. Okay, so they've come out of those entrenchments. They're now like this. Because they're reacting to the visible CSA units. Now, Pillow's division is just about to come in view to them. There's the Texas Germans in the van there under Ross. So they may reorient again. But I stopped to show that because it's a pretty common perception among players, including myself, for a very long time, that the AI doesn't have fog of war. It knows where your units are. I think this is a pretty clear indication that maybe it doesn't. Because what I see here is they are reacting to visible Confederate forces. And, they wouldn't be changing their position to face in this direction if they saw all this. I thought it was worth making that observation, and I will be back. Okay, so things are pretty much shaping up. The artillery is in place, and they've been bombarding up in here for a little while. The bombardment order. Be better back here, but I just couldn't quite get the the mouse pointer to get a piece of clear ground back in here. So it's where it is. They're hitting them just fine. Pillow's division is down here, just keeping the artillery safe, and he's also put out skirmishers just to keep keep these guys a little bit better in vision. They're not engaging. Meanwhile, Little's and Rain's divisions are slowly slogging their way through the woods over here. And the Cav is way out here on our left. Kind of in a position to get involved with a flank attack. He's got Springfield musketoons as his weapon. And it's going to take a little while for Little to get up in here, and his cohesion is crap. It's failing right now and probably still going down. So it is tempting, you know. Rains' guys are in position. It's tempting to move them up, but I'm going to wait for Little to be in position. Let him recover. Do want to get these guys in long range. Alright. I'm going to have Rains put out skirms just to help get a little bit more vision there to our front. And I'll probably go ahead and start engaging with those skirmishers. We'll bring them up to about... Let's bring them up here. Okay, Little's in position. Alright. Not doing too bad with the cohesion. Okay, skirmishers engaging. Get Clark skirms up here too. They're armed with Mississippi, so they can kind of come over here and probably be in range. Okay, cohesion good. Cohesion good. Cohesion good. Okay for fatigue. Okay for fatigue. Winded. Alright, so I'm hanging for a little bit longer. Okay, let's advance Rains up. Well, let's advance these guys up. I'm going to get Little moving first because it's going to take him a little bit longer. I'm going to move my guys up to about the line of this road. Okay. Texas Germans. Let's move him into cover. Let's move him up in cover over here. He's got mixed muskets. We'll bring him up, and he's being screened by his skirmishers. Meanwhile, Clark, you can come on up in the open ground because he's got Mississippis, and hopefully we can get him to where he is firing but not getting fired upon. How's Little doing? Slow going. Once he gets up about abreast of Rains, we'll get Rains moving up to the road as well. Meanwhile, the skirmishers are basically... they're not getting... These are all Mississippi armed skirmishers. And they are not receiving return fire. So all those guys are getting howitzer fire and long-range skirm fire. Which isn't causing an enormous amount of casualties yet, but that should be wearing down their morale. So that when these two divisions get up into here and push, then it shouldn't take too long to break them. I don't think Marmaduke needs his scouts anymore. Oh, that's the detachment. I don't think he needs his scouts anymore. Let's pull those in. Let's move him around over here. Okay, I'm going to order these divisions individually because I don't want Parsons to get hung up. Actually, he'll get cover. Yeah, let's put him right in the entrenchment there. Not there. So we know from here he should get... Well, his formation will be a little messed up, but that'll be fine. Once those brigades get up in position, then we'll pull their skirms in. We know these are good spots from which these brigades should be able to fire with their Mississippi rifles. Meanwhile, these musket troops are moving up over here. They're doing okay. They're not doing great, but they're doing okay for cohesion and fatigue. Move Marmaduke right up onto the objective. On the flank. Yeah. You can see how these brigades are looking a little raggedy. That's their cohesion. It's still... Okay. Fulkerson is failing cohesion. Failing here. So they need to just kind of hang out. They're in woods cover. Let's let them recover a little bit. These skirms have done a number on this lead brigade. Okay, we need to move Clark up a little bit more. probably. It's because he's down here on this slope, maybe. He's getting that kind of a weird firing arc. Let's go ahead and move the Texas Germans forward. Up in this cover along the riverbank. Okay, Clark's engaged. Right. Pull in your skirms. Pull in your skirms. Oh, I didn't need to move him. He was in range. That's alright. Okay. Good, rested. Intact. Okay. Intact, rested. Alright. Let's advance Little's division in. Right up into them. Like... Oh, that's kind of weird. Where's Price? Let's get him kind of over here. Yeah, Clark's got a little bit of a slope problem, I think. Let's move him up a little bit more. Those are just skirmishers being driven in. It's no big deal. Sol Ross is good and rested. They're doing okay. He just got a little bit of a debuff here for his own skirms. That'll clear in a moment. Bring Pillow up. You gotta tell him to get up close to the firing, because you know, he's Pillow. Okay. Brains is... Oh. Just pull in those skirms for ammo. They've done their job. Okay. Ross is starting to take fire. He can't return it. Let's just move him right on up into firing range. That wouldn't be a great situation normally, but this brigade is already taking fire from Clark. Okay, Little is moving up into position now. I think I want this particular brigade to halt. I don't want them trying to get up into that position over here. Okay, we've got a proper firefight going on now. And now Ross is coming up here on the flank with his Texas Germans. Clark still banging away over here. This brigade is engaged. Okay. Parse. There we go. And we got it done before nightfall. Oh, and they're running this way right into Ross and Clark's guns. Marmaduke. Mount up. And let's bring you down the road over this way. Faster, coming that way. See if we can charge these guys and get a little bit more. They move so fast when they're retreating, and they just go right through it. I know that irritates a lot of people, and it used to irritate me too. I guess to some extent it still does, but that's kind of a conscious design choice in the game. That's not like a bug or. I mean, it's unrealistic, yes, but it's done on purpose, and that's because they. You know, the idea is they don't want armies just routinely getting entirely disintegrated and disappear off the map. Because that didn't really happen in this particular conflict. Now, if they'd gotten surrounded the way that the player often does to the AI, maybe it would have. But, you know, I mean, once this army's gone, then boom. There's no strategic challenge anymore in the Mississippi theater, the Missouri theater, and it should be hard, or almost impossible, to remove an army from the map. All right, so they leave it so that you can bang it up really, really bad, and cause a lot of casualties, and cause it readiness and morale and supply problems, and all that sort of thing. But it's hard to destroy it. And I think they do. I think they do that for basically campaign map reasons. Not trying to defend it, not saying that's the way it should be. I'm just saying it's not a bug. They mean for that to happen, and it is what it is in this game. Okay, I think we can just fast forward out of here. No, let's have Marmaduke. Where's Marmaduke? Who was supposed to come over here. Just because I want Marmaduke to have something to do before this is over with. I don't know why he stopped here. His division commander came over here. Alright. Well, he didn't lose any guns because he didn't have any guns. 2,600 to 400. And I know, I mean, I kind of pussyfooted around a little bit and, kind of made careful moves. But that's because it didn't really have to against 3 brigades. I got it. But this is why. Try to do it with as few casualties as possible because I think old Sterling Price is going to have a lot more fighting to do in Missouri, so let's not lose any more men in the early stages than we have to. Okay, so I just put those 24-pound howitzers in one position, gave them a bombard order, and never told them to do anything else. So I'm kind of curious to see how they did with that. was Slack's division? Yeah, 165. It's probably not terrible from that distance. Into entrenchments. With 2 battalions, one of which is about half strength. One of those battalions isn't very big. I think. 8 guns, 10 guns, so 18 guns. Doing 165, so about 20 casualties per gun. No, that's bad math. More like about 9 casualties per gun. There, at least I caught myself, okay? Alright. And that will do for the Battle of Springfield, Missouri, which will also do for this episode. Let's see if we captured anything first. Now, the national morale and military experience gains aren't that big, even for a major victory here, just because there weren't that many men involved. Those weren't very large armies. Price's next step is to continue up the road through Lebanon toward Rolla and get control of that other supply depot in the Ozarks. Let's see here. 466 men captured. About 1,500 weapons. Obviously no artillery. There was none to capture. Let's see if we can see what they are. None of this stuff. Yeah, I think we got some more Springfield rifle muskets there. There's enough there for 2 brigades, as long as they're not above 2,500 men. I don't think there's going to be anything else. Shouldn't be, really. Okay. So, if you like what we're doing with the channel, you like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. If you're new to the series or new to the channel, you want to see what's been going on in this series up till now, there's going to be a playlist link right here. It's probably already visible as I'm talking. And but at any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.